Hello, my name is Juan Salcido, and today I will be teaching the carbohydrate counting system and the exchange system to my patient, Marcelo, who has type 1 diabetes. So, the whole premise of type 1 diabetes is that the pancreas does not produce insulin at all. So, whenever blood glucose levels rise after eating a meal, they're not controlled like they are with normal people that have insulin and glucagon in their pancreas. So uncontrolled diabetes happens and hyperglycemia can result, which can result in death in the long term if it's not controlled properly. Many people in the world suffer with type 1 or type 2 or gestational diabetes. So today I'm going to be teaching to see how we can solve this and how it can be an example for other people to see. So this is my patient right here with type 1 diabetes. The first thing we're going to do today is go over the carbohydrate counting system. The carbohydrate counting system is basically a way in that we manage carbohydrate amounts in consistent amounts throughout the day. So it is known that one serving of carbohydrate for diabetics is 15 grams of carbohydrate, and whether depending on their weight, their age, their needed calories per day, that's going to tell how many carbohydrate servings can be done in one meal, whether it be breakfast, lunch, dinner, or how much else they have. So we see here Marcelo Salcido, type 1 diabetes, and then we see that he needs 3,000 calories per day, and he's going to have 3 meals and a snack. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 3,000 calories, and because diabetics need to have consistent carbohydrate amounts, we're going to divide this by 2 so that 50% of calories are consumed from carbohydrates in the day. So then with that, we get 1,500 calories. And then because there are 4 calories in one carbohydrate, we are going to divide this by 4 calories, or kcals. Kcalories is another way to say it, per gram. And then after that, we are going to get 375 grams per day. And this is going to be the total amount of carbohydrates he needs per day. But because he does want a snack, we're going to have to eliminate that and worry about that next to the main meal. So we're going to subtract 30 grams, which is typically the amount of carbohydrates you can have in the snack. So I'm just going to write that right here real quick. And then when you subtract 375 minus 30, you're going to get 345 grams of carbs per day. And this is going to focus on his main meals, while this 375 included his snack that will be dealt with at a later time. So now we have this amount, and then because he's going to be eating 3 meals per day, we're going to have to divide this by 3 meals. And then that amount is going to come out to about 115 grams of carbs per meal. So he can have that amount of carbs per meal. But because I said earlier in the video that 15 grams of carbs is considered one carb serving, we're going to have to divide it by that. And then once we get that, it's going to even out to about 8 servings of carbohydrates per meal. So with each meal, Marcelo is able to have 8 servings of carbohydrates per meal, or 15 grams times 8, which totals about 115 carbs per meal. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to see his exact meals and see what counts as portion sizes throughout all his meals out of the day. So we're going to start with breakfast here. And breakfast here has 1 cup of milk, 1 box of raisins, 1 thing of strawberry cheesecake Greek yogurt, a serving of oatmeal, and then 2/3 tablespoon of sugar. And then with this amount, I calculated out to where this box of raisins is about 2 servings of carbohydrates. This can be considered to about 1 serving of carbohydrate. And then this doesn't show the calories, but on the box, this whole thing comes out to about 40 carbohydrates. So that's about 3 servings. And then I've measured out 1 cup of milk, which is 12 carbohydrates. And then 2/3 tablespoons of sugar, which is about 15 grams, a little bit less than that. So that totals out to 8 grams, or 8 servings of carbohydrates per meal. And then we're going to go along to lunch. Here we have an apple, 2 clementines, corn, and quinoa, the black and white kernels. And this serving, actually, it's a half cup. So that means it's about 1 cup cooked when you cook it. And the amount of carbohydrates per a half cup is about 55 carbohydrates. So that's 4 servings of carbohydrates right there. And then this corn right here is 1 cup of corn. And this will become about 28 carbohydrates, which becomes rounds of 30, and it's 2 servings. And then this small apple is about 18 carbohydrates, so that's 1 serving. And then these 2 clementines come out to be 15. So that adds up to 8 servings of carbohydrates. And because he is a bigger male and has 3,000 calories, that's why there's so many servings. And then we're going to go along to dinner. Here we have measured out rice. I measured out about 3/4 cup of rice, and that's going to come out to be 4 servings of carbohydrates when you total it out. And then here I have about a half cup of uncooked soybeans, and that right there is going to be 2 servings of carbohydrates. And then this box of raisins right here, like earlier, has 29 grams of carbs, and that's going to come out to 2 servings. So that's going to total out to 8 servings of carbohydrates, just like we had over here. And then, like I said, we left off, like I said earlier in the video, we left the snack off to the side because a snack usually consists of less carbohydrates than a meal. So we're going to say that this has about 30 grams of carbs per snack. Each whole wheat bread comes out to 11 carbs, so times 2 is 22. And then this serving of peanut butter right here, I'm sure it's about a tablespoon or so, comes out to about 8 carbohydrates, so that totals to 30 carbohydrates. So now that we see this,